What's going on, guys? My name is Doe, and I hope everyone's doing great. And today I want to discuss the new Catalyst cell, which comes with Umbral Escalation and all those shenanigans. I want to tell you what's good about the cell, what it does, what's bad about the cell, and how you unlock it. Because for some reason, every escalation a new cell comes out, and I get asked, Douglas, how do I unlock the new Juice Master cell? Well, it's not that difficult. I'll explain that a bit later because it's really simple. To get started though, I'll go ahead and cover what the cell does because that's the important part and the fun stuff. So Catalyst is a utility cell, which every build will have a utility cell in it. You have your Lantern, which has a utility slot right now, so you're going to have to deal with some utility slots or some utility cells. And Catalyst, what it does, which will blow your mind, it gives you 60% increased tonic effectiveness and tonic duration. Let that sink in, alright? Tonics in this game are nuts. This is boosting it by more than half for both the effectiveness and duration at +6, mind you. At lower ranks, it's not as crazy, but it's still wild. And below +4, it doesn't actually give you increased duration, which it's not like a big deal, but it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice factor to have that in this cell. So I'll be going over what tonics are affected by this because, you know, spoiler alert, it's anything that has the word tonic in it is affected by this. It doesn't seem to affect your flask, it doesn't affect pylons, but if it has tonic in the name, it will be affected and boosted by this cell, which, bro, it's crazy. To give you a little comparison to other utility cells, you have Catalyst, which is this bonkers cell right now that's coming out, and you have the other couple cells. You have Conduit, Etheric Attunement, and Zeal. Those are like the three semi-contenders, I guess. Conduit being the closest one to being, I guess as good, but not even close because all that gives you, which I say all that, but it's still pretty good. It makes it so it gives you and your teammates 15% or up to more attack speed when using your hold to cast. And that's great and all. Catalyst is on a different level, bro. It's nuts. So let's go ahead and get into what it does for the tonics. And I've got a little list here. I made it myself. I'm pretty happy. Did all the calculations myself with a calculator. We'll go over the tonics, and I'll be covering the ones that are used the most often first. So Aether Drive tonics, Blitz tonics, and Frenzy tonics. And now with this new escalation, I think Insight tonic with Warpike will be a very good pick. So I'll cover those first. Any potion lasting 60 seconds will have its duration increased to 1 minute and 36 seconds if you're using +6 Catalyst. That's like the baseline we'll be using for this cell study, if you will. So if you're using Aether Drive tonics, I miscalculated the easiest freaking thing in this entire tonic selection. I put 150% increased effectiveness, but that's a lie. So whatever. What Aether Drive tonic does at base is it gives you 100% increased lantern generation from all sources for 60 seconds. That's pretty freaking good, right? 100% of something, doubling it. Fantastic. That's amazing. Who doesn't love that? It's great. Unless it's like a bad thing, in which case, terrible. Take it back. But with Catalyst, simple calculation, I messed up. You just add 60% to that. So it'd be 160% increased lantern generation. This is cool. I think that there's going to be a problem with overcharging, although it happens anyway. So it's still going to be an amazing freaking tonic. Like Aether tonic is going to be super good still. Even better, obviously. But you will have these cases where you'll be overcharging a lot more, which isn't great. Which is why, a little tangent, is I wish that Etheric Attunement, which is one of the cells that no one really, like people use, but it's not that great anymore. I wish that cell made it so you could hold and store hold the cast casts. That sounds dumb, but it makes sense, right? Like being able to store your hold the cast if you overcharge, right? Like that'd be cool. So you're not just sitting there overcharging, wasting time because it's a hold the cast. You can't keep up with that all the time. So that's a little thing to keep in mind. But Aether tonics are amazing. They're great, especially on weapons like repeaters where you can control it pretty easily since you're shooting a bunch of bullets that don't do that much damage because the weapons. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we have Blitz tonic, which at base grants between 10 to 30% increased attack speed based on health missing. If you're using Discipline, I think Blitz tonic gives you like 20% attack speed, roughly. So using that calculation, we input it into our calculator, and we get the effect or the result of 12% increase. Now, I said earlier that Conduit gives you 15% increased attack speed, right? Well, if Catalyst is making one tonic give you only 3% less attack speed than Conduit, and you still have two more tonics to calculate, that's crazy. Like, that is bonkers. So keep that in mind as a sort of comparison to how good this cell is in general to other utility cells. Like, just to those alone, it's crazy. So that's a really good damage, I guess, attack speed increase just to make like certain weapons that are slow feel a bit faster. So like repeaters being slow, pop this, you're good. But next up we have Frenzy Tonic, which at base, you get 15% increased damage dealt for 60 seconds baseline time. And if a behemoth enrages, you get another 15%. So 30%. That's pretty good. And I calculated both those. So it's 24% before enrage. After enrage, it's 48%. I could be wrong on these. Like, I'm not the smartest kid. You know, I'm not the sharpest crayon in the crayon box, or the brightest crayon in the crayon box, or something like that. So I could be wrong on these, but I feel like I'm kind of close. The next tonic is Insight. This is a wound tonic that, you know, people don't often use because you don't really need it that much. But with Umbral Escalation, it's going to be fun to use this cell to mess around with the amps in that escalation to just make it crazy, right? To enjoy the amps and to see how crazy they can get. It's kind of cool making so many, bro. I am literally funding Chuck E. Cheese. You bitch. I'm like the Chuck E. Cheese of Dauntless right now, just creating a ball pit. Oh, I'm cracked out of my mind. So Insight Tonic grants you 40% increased wound damage for 60 seconds. After Catalyst, this gives you 64% total, so an extra 24% increase. Bro, that's pretty good. Like, these aren't, like, adding 24% might not seem like a lot, but that's a whole quarter, dude. That's a lot of money, man. It's pretty cool. It's pretty noticeable in Escalation too when you're wounding to have Insight Tonic and to also have Catalyst. It's very noticeable how crazy things can get. And as a little side note, do not use Acidic in Escalation or Umbral Escalation. That's my suggestion. You can if you want to, obviously. I'm not your freaking mom, although I could be. You don't know. But I would suggest using Acidic. Just play Warpike, use Insight Tonic, play something different, and, you know, go crazy. But moving forward, the next potions or tonics don't have traditional duration times. They're a bit different, right? We have one that is a stamina tonic. This normally lasts 120 seconds, and what it does, it grants 50% increased stamina regeneration and 50% reduced stamina costs. This is a pretty good potion for, let's say, like Sword and sometimes Warpike, because those weapons use a lot of stamina, and it's annoying. Especially Sword. Sword, like, is a spammy boy. Sword's a spammy weapon, so you want to have stamina. That's why people use Skullforge. Now, with Catalyst plus 6, the duration is increased to 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Bro, that is crazy. You could just pop one of these in a trial run if you're using, like, an okay build, and you wouldn't have to pop it again if you get, like, a sub 3. That's wild. Bro. But what it increases is you get 80% total increased stam regen and reduced stam cost. So it's an extra 30% increased stam regen and reduced stamina cost. This is so crazy to watch it just count up when you're playing. If you have like conditioning and this, which is overkill, it's wild. So this, I don't think will replace Skullforge because it's just like sometimes you'll run out of stamina, right? It doesn't mean you'll get like unlimited stamina. Skullforge is nice because you get unlimited stamina. Sometimes that is pretty wild with the sword, with repeating elements. You're just sitting there spamming like that. I don't know, whatever swords do. You're spamming like that. And having unlimited stamina is pretty good. So this will be something you could probably use in, I guess, regular hunts if you wanted to. Although popping potions in regular hunts all the time, I don't know. You make up your own mind, right? You pay for your own potions. Do with them what you will. But the next potion we have is Bulwark, which I suggest very highly because it's a very good potion. It's pretty cool. Helps you stay alive. Who doesn't like that? Or who doesn't like that, right? Be weird. So Bulwark does not get a duration increase because it doesn't have a timer. it has just, you know, if you get hit, you lose a stack. So that doesn't increase at all. It's the same 3 stacks, but the effectiveness does increase. So Bork Tonic goes from being 45% reduced damage taken for the next 3 hits to being 72% damage reduction for the next 3 hits. What's the math on that? Be a 7? 27, right? Yeah, I'm nuts. Wow, I'm freaking goated, dude. That'd be a 27% damage reduction increase. It's like a oxymoron, kinda, but it's cool. That is really good. I keep saying insane because it is insane, man. It's wild, bonkers. Like, that is just crazy to visualize. Now, the last tonic is probably the easiest to sort of visualize and see because actually just see because I'll show you. But this is gonna be Life Drain Tonic. Normally, what this does is it gives you 12% of your damage dealt will also heal you and your nearby allies for the next 30 seconds. So the duration increases to 48 seconds and the lifesteal increases to 19.2%. Now, this isn't exactly that crazy, but it is pretty cool seeing your freaking health go from 1 to full, right? It's pretty wild. From 1 to full. You're like, okay, I'm about to die. Haha, just kidding. Ha. Joke's on you. I'm alive. Like, it's pretty cool. It's fun seeing that. It made me happy seeing that. I was like, wait. I wasn't sure if I could heal that much. I mean, you definitely could in Escalation, but like in a regular hunt with like an okay build, no overpower, nothing like that. It was pretty cool seeing that happen. So that is the whole deal. Now, how do you get this cell? Well, the answer is playing the game, dude. You play the game. You can get it from if you store cores from like previous whatever, like previous patches or whatever. You can open those and get it. I think it's like a utility cores for sure have some of these randomly. Come on, bro. That's not what I need right now. I've already gotten Zeal. Okay, we're in there, dude. You get them from doing hunts whenever the patch drops. Just, you play the game, dude. It's that simple. There's no like, oh, I have to rub the knee of a Nasher and then pray to the Thrax gods. None of that stuff. You legit play the game. You'll unlock the stuff. You can bake the cells you get at the middleman. Call it a day. But that should wrap up the Catalyst, I guess, video covering this stuff. I'll be making a lot of builds with Catalyst just for funsies. And I almost forgot, actually. The downside to all this is you're using potions. Potions aren't cheap, bro. It's ridiculous. These things cost an arm and a leg, but I'll have fun going broke in the I'll have fun in the process of going broke. So I guess I have that to look forward to. But yeah, that's the video, guys. Hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel for more Dauntless content. If you want to support the channel, use my Epic Games support code, which is OhDough, in the Epic Games Store and the in-game Dauntless Store. It helps me out a ton. Follow me on Twitch if you want my in-game partner Flare. Subscribe to me on that platform to get it. It's pretty cool. People like it. And join my Discord to see when I go live and stuff like that. Join the community. But other than that, y'all, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.